Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Collision or Hit. I, Bob Walk, with Jim Ross and with Taz. Today on Collision or Hit, we are going to see a match. We're going to see, hopefully, we're going to see a good match here today. And I am the first time that I've ever been calling a wrestling show. I mostly call club ball. That's right, Bob Walk. You are a MBL Hall of Onlooker and a play-by-play caller for winnable ball game for club ball games. And it's good to have you here, Jim Ross says. Well, it's good to have you here too, Taz says. And hopefully we're going to have a good show here today for everyone. Taz says, yeah, well, Bob Freed says, life hasn't been fair to some folks, and sadly that would be Austin Theory, who believes that he should be the TWF light heavyweight fighter, Bob Walk says, and sadly he's not. Well, there he is, Bob Walk, right there, Jim Ross says. The man who thinks that he should be the two-time TWF light heavyweight fighter, Jim Ross says. Well, Taz says, don't tell him that. But you didn't hear it from me, but the first winnings I ever won was the IWWC heavyweight winnings. Yeah, looking at me, you wouldn't think, but I was a heavyweight fighter. Long before I became the two-time ECW heavyweight fighter, the two-time ECW Farseer fighter, the two-time ECW tag team fighter, long before I became the three-time WF hard middle fighter, one-time WF tag team fighter. Yeah, you didn't know that, did you, Taz says. Well, and I do feel sorry for Austin Theory, because I know how it is to win a winning and then lose it as fast as you got it, Taz says. So, I should be standing here today in the ring as the TWF light heavyweight fighter. But sadly, that hasn't happened. Sadly, Toastal or Daisy or Peach or whatever you want to call her is still the TWF light heavyweight fighter. Oh, well, I'm sorry. It seems that Daisy was some other woman in the early Mario games, before the Mario games we know of. But no, in the Mario Brothers film that the Walt Disney business made between 93 YL, her name was Daisy. Deke called her Toastal, Nintendo calls her Peach. What's in the name? Anyway, that bitch shouldn't be the TWF light heavyweight fighter. That should be me. Well, what Toastal, Daisy, or Peach, or whatever you want to call her should do is to come down here and just give me back my TWF light heavyweight winnings. Because at the end of the day, I, the TWF light heavyweight fighter. And I truly think, well, there's Astronema now, the matchmaker and the main leader or main overseer to TWF. What do you want, Austin Theory? What are you bitching and ranting about? Oh, that you want to be the TWF light heavyweight fighter? Well, Austin Theory, I hate to break it up to you, but you go in the back of the line because you had your match with Peach, Daisy, Toastal, whatever you're calling her, last week, last NXT, Heatwave. So you go in the back of the row, so you really shouldn't be asking her to give up her TWF light heavyweight winnings, which I need to say she has done as being a two-time TWF light heavyweight fighter. She's done a lot more than your first run. I'm telling you right now, Astronema or Corone. You are a bad matchmaker. You're a bad main leader. Or a bad main overseer. You know, somehow you got that rank given to you in 2021 YL, and somehow 2 years later, you still have that rank. I mean, you're worse than Adam Pearce and worse than Shawn Michaels. Hell, you're worse than Santino Marella. And that's saying something. Saying what? Ecliptor goes. Hey, I got this, Ecliptor. Alright, go ahead and scathe me all you want, Austin Theory. You can go and say that I'm as worse as Adam Pearce or worse than Shawn Michaels if you want to. But at the end of the day, Shawn Michaels, at the end of the day, if Adam Pearce is a bad main leader or bad main overseer of Raw, how did he keep that rank for at least 1, 2, 3 years? And if Shawn Michaels is bad as a main leader, main overseer of NXT, how did he keep his rank soon to be 1 year next month? And I can't really speak for Santino Marella, because at the end of the day, I don't really know Santino Marella that well to speak about him. But anyway, here's what I'm going to do. Scathing, shaming, guilting, sliding, name calling, bullying is not going to get you what you want, Austin Theory. You go in the back of the row and let someone else have a shot for the TWF light heavyweight winnings. Astronema goes, yeah, Ecliptor says, I think I would listen to Astronema, listen to Corone, and I would give her the onlook as the main leader or main overseer and matchmaker of the toy wrestling gathering. Because you think from what Baron Corbin did yesterday when Xena was on the show, you think somehow that's going to help you. Well, it's not. Hold on here. I got this all. Alright. Yeah, you want to have another match with me, Austin Theory? Is that what it's all about? Austin Theory, you're like Bowser Koopa. Always bitching and ranting about the unfairness of life. Always playing the beaten. Because that's what Bowser Koopa did all the time. He would bitch about the unfairness of things, that he was a beaten. How dare anyone scathe him for being an evildoer when he was. And I'm not going to go and say that Mario and Luigi were not guilty of doing things that weren't wrong. But hell, they weren't guilty of doing the same sinful or the same unlawful things that Bowser Koopa did. So yeah, I'll fight him one more time here today on Collision or Hit. I'll give him what he wants. Alright, Astronema says, I guess it's your lucky day. I guess God has smiled down upon you, because here today you get one more luck to fight Toadstool Daisy Peach for the TWF light heavyweight winnings. Here today on Collision or Hit. Astronema says, let the match happen now. One more thing, Ecliptor goes. If you lose, I don't want to hear you sobbing or bitching or ranting anymore. Bob Walk says, we heard Astronema, the main matchmaker. We heard from Astronema, the matchmaker, and the main leader or overseer of the TWF making this match for the TWF light heavyweight winnings. Bob Walk says, but truly you can't think that bitching and ranting is how Austin Theory got his way. No, Bob. At the end of the day, I don't think the bitching or the ranting or the guilting or the shaming or the scaving or the slighting did it. At the end of the day, I don't truly believe that Austin Theory got what he wanted out of that. He might bullshit you, Jim Ross, and say he did. But it was Toadstool, Daisy, or Peach that gave it to him. Well, Taz says we're going to have the TWF Light Heavyweight winnings. And Austin Theory is going to become the TWF Light Heavyweight fighter for the 2nd time. This is for the TWF Light Heavyweight winnings. First, he is Austin Theory. And she is the TWF Light Heavyweight fighter, Peach. Now, first off, Bob Free says, I want to know, oh! And Austin Theory just close staked it down Peach and body slammed her. And let me know, which one is the true name, Bob Free says. A little misled here. Nintendo calls her Peach. Disney called her Daisy. Deke called her Toadstool. So which one is her true name, Bob Free says. Well, Jim Ross says, I think her true name is Peach. I think Toadstool was the Deke name. And I think Daisy was the Disney name. Oh! And down they go. And Peach in a bind right now. Bob Free says, yeah, Jim Ross says, Austin Theory got this match. And if he loses, we don't want to listen. We hope he's not going to bitch and rant again. Well, Taz says, sometimes in life is unfair. Sometimes you do bitch and write. You have to bitch and rant. But Austin Theory is not going to lose. Austin Theory just missed. Whatever Holdy's going to do, Taz says, because Peach got out of the way, or Toadstool, or Daisy, whatever you want to call her, and she blonde on him. You know, here's you going, oh! And Daisy just took down, or Peach or Toadstool. You know, she's got the upper hand right now on Austin Theory, but for how long, Taz says. I don't think she can do that 2 times. Taz said. Bob Walk says she did. Oh! And Austin Theory got away, Bob Walk says. Now he's going to do the A downtown. Oh! The A downtown. Oh! On Peach, Bob Walk says. Will that be enough, Jim Ross says? Will we see the new TWF Light Heavyweight fighter? Well, I don't know, Taz says. But Bob, Jim, I truly hope so. 1, 2, and only a kick out. Austin Theory. Oh, Toadstool just hit him with the neck breaker, Bob Walk says. Or Bob Walk says. Or you could call it a stunner, Jim Ross says. Or you could say it was the last skip. Or was the whippersnapper, whatever, that's a borrowed word of some kind, Taz says. But yeah, you can call it a neck breaker. But I hope, no, there's no way that Peach is going to beat Austin Theory with a neck breaker, Taz says. Well, looks like it's going to happen, Bob Free said. The 1, 2, 3 is going to happen. Will Toadstool be the winner, Jim Ross says. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner. And still the TWF Light Heavyweight fighter, Eldeling Peach. Eldeling Peach has beat Austin Theory once again and has kept the TWF Light Heavyweight winnings for another day, Bob Walk says. That's right, Jim Ross says. And hopefully Austin Theory's going to go in the back of the row and yield for someone else to have their shift of going for the TWF Light Heavyweight winnings. Oh no, Taz says, knowing Austin Theory, Bob and Jim, he's going to bitch, he's going to rant, he's going to guilt, he's going to shame, he's going to scathe, he's going to slight, and he's going to bully until he gets what he wants. Hey, that's just my belief. Knowing him, that's how he's going to behave, like Taz says. Well, alright, Bob Free says. From one former club ball, one former ball game play caller, shifted skilled wrestling caller, Take it away, Tony Schiavone. Hi, Bob Walk. I'm happy that you, Bob Walk. I'm glad that you brought up my NBL background. Alright, I'm going to be talking with, alright, Bob Walk, Jim Ross. I'm going to be talking with Peach or Daisy or Toastal here today on Rampage or Ramfru. Alright. Well, it's like this, Tony Schiavone. We just saw you beat Austin Theory again and keep your TWF light heavyweight winnings, hopefully, for another day. Oh yeah, I kept it for another day. I beat Austin Theory. And hopefully it's the last time we have to listen to him bitch and rant about why he's not the TWF light heavyweight fighter. Well, one little thing to ask you, Tony Schiavone says. You didn't have to put your winnings on stake here today. You didn't have to put your strap on stake. But I guess you did it because you wanted to shut Austin Theory up. That's right, Tony Schiavone. I wanted to shut Austin Theory up. I get sick and tired of listening to folks like him bitch and rant. He's like Bowser Koopa. He just bitch and rant about the unfairness thing and plays the beaten. So I gave him his match. He lost. And now I hope I put him behind me and I face or I wrestle or fight some other wrestlers or fighters or overstars. Well, Tony Schiavone says, just want to say Peach or Toaster or Daisy, whatever name you want to go by, good luck. It was a good match that you had by beating Austin Theory, and hopefully you're done with them. Like I said, Tony, hopefully I am done with him. Well, that's my talk with, Peach or Toaster or Daisy. Back to you, Bob Walk and Jim Ross. Well, thank you, Tony Schiavone, for talking with Peach or Daisy or Toastal here today on Collision or Hit. And that's all the time we got here for Collision or Hit. I, Bob Walk, Jim Ross, and Taz, we hope you like Collision or Strike, and we'll see you tomorrow for Monday Night Raw or a Lone Day Night Raw.